All right. Well, hello everybody. I am Paul Huber. That's right, your pal Hubie here at Nissan of Cool Springs, and you are.
Eric Fallati.
That's right.
Hello. How goes it today?
We've only done this a few times, so we'll figure it out eventually.
Yeah, we're catching on.
That's right. We'll catch on. But anyway, as you see behind us here, we still have March Madness going, and I have never seen a crazier first two rounds, Eric.
Me either. It has been pandemonium. This whole tournament has. I've run out of adjectives to describe all the things that have happened. It's beyond what any of us would have ever expected.
No, I completely agree. The main thing is that in the first two rounds, this I didn't look it up definitively, but this has got to be a record for the most number of top seeds to be defeated in the first two rounds.
In my lifetime, I've never seen so many upsets take place on the first two weekends. Now, we've had some upsets in tournaments past that have surpassed some of the games in this tournament, but as far as the number of upsets we've seen happen, I mean, one edge of your seat game after another. I mean, I'm like, where's the oxygen? You know, it's been so crazy.
Well, one of the things that I love, before we talk about any of the specific games, but a lot of small schools,
yes,
have stepped up and people have taken notice of them.
Yes, they have.
So we're going to talk about some of these upsets. I've got some notes in here. Actually, that's not the right one. Tell you what, hang on. Stay with us. There we go. I'm just going to open my notebook here. All right, so, hopefully you can still hear us. In the first round, first win ever by a 16 seed. Talk about that, Eric.
Well, a week ago, nobody even knew who UMBC was. For the record, University of Maryland, Baltimore County. I mean, we thought we were never going to see the day, or at least I thought this, where a number 16 would ever knock off a number 1. Virginia, admittedly, was my pick to win the championship. I had them beating Kansas. But, I mean, Virginia was not only a top seed, they were the number 1 overall seed in this year's tournament, having lost 2 games all year. UMBC comes from out of nowhere. They didn't just upset Virginia on a last-second shot. They manhandled them big time in the second half.
They
really
dominated. They
oh,
absolutely dominated the
yes.
game. Another first-round upset, number 13 seed Buffalo over number 4 Arizona.
Well, Buffalo came out and they shot lights out against Arizona. That game was never in doubt. And regarding the circumstances at Arizona recently, you wonder if that might have busted Sean Miller's bubble as coach at Arizona. Will he still be coach there next year, or will he return? But as far as the game itself, Arizona looked nothing like a number 4 seed. Buffalo caught a lot of people by surprise. They really did. So.
Yep. We also had Rhode Island, who made a little bit of noise, and
yes.
Another school is like, wow, who are these guys?
Right. And Rhode Island made a good showing in that first round. Now, Duke took care of them easily in the second round. But Rhode Island is a team to reckon with next year. They may have been a 7 seed this year, but they're up and coming. I look for more from them.
They're like the modern-day Gonzaga.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so now we're going to move forward to the second round. We had this amazing UT played against Loyola Chicago.
Oh, boy.
And Chicago, they played really good defense, but I think also UT, I just think they didn't shoot the ball well.
They didn't. I mean, the UT fan of me is still heartbroken about that, but I've got to admit, Loyola Chicago earned that win. What shocked me was Rick Barnes, UT's head coach, seemingly got away from what had gotten us there. We could have matched up easily with Loyola Chicago size-wise in the paint.
Yep.
For whatever reason, Tennessee opted to go for three-pointers all day, and it backfired. We did have that comeback at the end with 20 seconds left before they hit the winning basket. But I've got to admit, Loyola Chicago outplayed us the full 40 minutes. We were never in sync all day. Tennessee was.
No, I completely agree. So now we're going to talk about another one in the second round, a team I said to watch for in our last video, number 7, Nevada over Cincinnati.
What a game. And that game took place right here in Nashville. It was fun to watch. When Cincinnati built that 22-point lead early in the second half, I'm sure they were already thinking about the Sweet 16, and I don't blame them. But Nevada showed no quit. The same way Nevada came back to beat Texas in that first round, there was no quit in that team. And Nevada might be the sleeper of this tournament. No one's really talking about them, but they proved against Cincinnati they're for real. Needless to say, a bunch of basketball fans left Nashville heading back to Cincinnati.
Oh,
Very disappointed.
Also,
So,
Nevada,
yeah.
first team to ever overcome 9-point deficits in the first 2 rounds.
I mean, that's Cinderella in a nutshell for you.
Yep.
Nevada knows how to play from behind really well, evidently. So,
That's right.
yeah.
So we're going to talk about a couple of the other ones. Huge upset. Florida State over #1 Xavier.
And no, even though Xavier was a top seed, I don't think anyone really took Xavier seriously because I think they had 6 or 7 losses during the regular season, and they got a #1 seed anyway. But Xavier was probably the undersized #1 seed of this tournament. And down the stretch, Florida State took advantage of that. Florida State had nothing to lose, and so Florida State is another team that you need to watch out for the rest of the way. I think Xavier overlooked them as well.
Absolutely. Another big upset. Texas A&M over North Carolina. The Tar Heels go down.
And not only was that an upset, I mean, Texas A&M just came out and dominated that game, starting from the midpoint of the first half until the end. Texas A&M could not miss. I think they shot 70% for the game, and North Carolina looked nothing like the defending national champions they were. They came out hoping to defend their title, but A&M said, no, sir, we're for real. Yeah.
UNC had no idea what hit them.
Not even close.
Finally, a near upset. Houston had the lead. Last-minute three-pointer by Michigan.
And that's very hard for Houston to have to swallow these days. I mean, Michigan just hit the shot. I mean, it was an NBA range 3-pointer.
Yeah, it was from deep beyond the arc.
It was nothing but net. And Houston should have had someone closer in that guy's face. It looked to me like the Michigan player that took that game-winning basket had a wide-open look, kind of like Christian Laettner against Kentucky when he and Duke beat them several years ago. And so, but,
absolutely. Another game that was disappointing for me was Michigan State losing.
Yes, you wonder if Tom Izzo's ability to win the close games are starting to become in question now, because we go back 2 years ago to when Michigan State got upset by MTSU, and Syracuse came from behind to beat them in the same way this time. And because Syracuse was one of the play-in teams, I don't think people gave them much of a chance, but Jim Boeheim knows how to win these tournament games. And
it's been proven throughout the year, even though Michigan was in the top of among the offensive stats.
Right.
Syracuse, that zone was stifling. They had to settle for three-pointer after three-pointer, and they couldn't knock them down.
And it didn't help that Michigan State missed each of their final 13 shot attempts for the game either.
Poor shot selection.
Right.
So other than that, I look forward to what's going on. I'm still alive in both of my brackets.
More so than I am.
And I'm floating in there in the top 3 or 4, but I do have the most points per round available, possible points per round. So I have Kentucky going into the final, losing to Villanova.
And that may still be pretty accurate on your part, because right now, Villanova, with the remaining 16 teams, Villanova's got to be the prohibitive favorite.
Kentucky, though.
Yes, and Kentucky, I mean,
they have a walk into the Final Four.
And that's courtesy of the top 4 teams in that South Regional bracket being gone already.
Yep.
Kentucky never thought they'd be in this position in the Sweet 16. I certainly didn't. But yes, Kentucky is the team to watch out for the rest of the way. Now, Kansas State may have something to say about that, but right now in the South bracket, Kentucky's got to be the favorite.
Also, another one of the